All right, Kusabi family. Welcome to another session of Truth Colors. So let's just get started. Um, Salute to everyone watching by Yajarala Facebook page. Salute to everyone watching by Yashiyahu Facebook page. Salute to everyone watching by Left Ship to Him REA Facebook page. Salute to everyone watching by King David YouTube channel. Salute to everyone watching by I Am King David YouTube channel. Salute to everyone watching by We Are Bantu, Periscope TV, or Bantu Yisilele Twitter account. Salute to Goshen. Salute to Michaela and Micah. Daddy loves you. May the will of the Father be done on the earth as it is in heaven. This is another session of Truth Colors, and my name is King Music or King David. And we're gonna look at a couple of things just briefly or in passing, if you will. So I asked Father pretty much the title for this, and he led me to this verse of scripture. Trying to, I guess, help people to understand this simple concept. Um, I think that we as a people, or majority of people, we're looking for something super deep versus something that is simply understood. Like, you go into a house, you live in a house, you have your things, belongings inside of that house, and that house is yours. And everything, you can have government inside of that house that will transcend or either go out from that house to other people's so-called in a apartment or apartment complex. So like in the apartment complex, you're going to have the manager there, the person who actually, fix, who has maintenance there, and all these different things, right? And so that's what we want to look at. This is coming forth right now. Um, I don't know if this is really good for the people. Can y'all hear what I'm saying? Hold on. That's bad. It doesn't show the internet. Oh, there's internet right there. Is it going smoothly or is it freezing? Just saying. Is it freezing or is it going? So it's clear on that end. All right. All right. Let's get started.
image and receive his mark into his forehead or in his hand. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Satan cast into the lake of fire. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and they shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. The great white throne. And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Elohim, and the books were open, and another book was open, which was in the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works, in death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. But I will tell you what will happen to cowards and to everyone who is unfaithful or dirty-minded or who murders or is sexually immoral or uses witchcraft or worships idols or tell lies. They will be thrown into that lake of fire and burning sulfur. This is the second death.
Your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit testers. Your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit testers. Hey, Yahuwah says your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit testers. Multitude like your haters, not your haters, they're your fruit.
Beats by others.
Yeah. Truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors. Hey, when you learn the truth, it will set you free. Many are held captive, stolen identity. But let me just shoot the breeze, release you from Satan's squeeze. He's all like enemies, no matter the color you see. That truth flame, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, truth colors, yeah, yeah, truth colors.
All right. Wasabi family. All right. So we're gonna look at a couple of scriptures that tie into what we are looking into. Um, Number one thing I want to keep pointing out is that I don't tend to try to be or wisdom that I get. None of it. It all comes from him. Father told me, he instructed me and said, son, do not try to be deep. He says, be simple. He said, because those who try to be deep and don't understand the simple are not being deep at all. They're being complex, confusing. And the author of confusion is not the Father. It is literally Lucifer, or, it is the enemy who always wants to be deep, appears to be deep when everything is so simple. So he told me, do not try to be deep, be simple. And then he said, the simple goes deep. And I keep saying this, our people, we have a complex. Everyone wants to be so deep, understand the scriptures so deep. I don't care to know the scriptures in that manner at all. I care to know the scriptures from a simple context. And by the simple context, just the simple piece alone goes deep. If you're trying to look for scriptures to be with firecrackers and everything else and rockets going off and all that stuff like that, this book is not for you. Put it down, stop reading it, just stop. But when you have a mindset of understanding from a simple standpoint, now you can do something. Everything starts off with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and moves on from there. Then you can take A. A goes to word and forms a word. Apple. Oh my goodness. It went from simple and went super deep because you was able to form a word from that simple alphabet. That is how the truth is. Period. When you try to start off with apple, but don't know that the simple root of the word or the simple part of it came from A, you're not being deep. You're being complex because you don't understand where apple came from. And that's where we have right now. It's a lot of our people trying to be deep, but don't understand the simplicity. But the Father already told me that no person will be able to stand before my face. So I've still yet to see people stand before my face with scripture. It's a challenge. All right. All right. So we've touched on this before. If you've missed these scriptures or missed this part, all right. Um, can y'all hear me okay? Hopefully you can. All right. We're gonna look at all these instances that they are very needful. Ezekiel 11 and 24. Now, every single time we see something in here, We're going to see what man is. I already said that. Man became a living soul. That's what it says. The man became a living spirit. Man became a living soul. So if man's a living soul, whatever is in man. But then people say, well, we see too. All right, so the screen is frozen. All right. Make this big for those who can't really see. Genesis 2 and 7. This is what the Father has said of man. Not what man has said of man, not what Paul has said of man. We got to be able to establish things by 2 or 3 witnesses in the scriptures. So if Paul says something and it cannot be matched by 2 or 3 witnesses, we need to look into that. Because just like the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and I brought this out before, tree of knowledge of good and evil is literally what it is. The tree of knowledge of good and evil. But in the midst of it was also the tree of life. So inside of this book might be also the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But my sheep knows my voice, and a stranger's voice it will not follow. It's that simple. It's not hard at all. It's going to be references that the Father keeps saying and doing over with the different prophets. So if someone else comes with something different, the enemy has already warned you, just like he warned the woman in the garden. The woman was already warned, hey, don't eat this. She took it upon herself to eat. That's her fault. So she got what she got. And Adam got what he got too, because they both deserved it, because they didn't listen. And our people deserve what they get too, if they don't listen either. We're coming to an end, a climax. No one has time to continue to keep running over the same stuff that people have been running over for you so many years, messing up. The Father said he's going to do a quick work. That means either you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. And if you don't get it, you ain't meant. Man and woman in the garden, but springs welled up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then Yah formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed the breath of life into his nostrils. And the man became a living being, living person, living soul. Living, not dead. An individual, complete in body and spirit. So that means what? Body and soul. It's funny how the enemy always promises you something that you already had. And the day you eat of this, you will be like him. Don't even understand you already like him. Because no man without righteousness, no man can see Yah. If Adam and Eve is able to see the Father, it's because they already are like him. but they wanted more. They wasn't happy with their little portion. They wanted a little bit more, and that's what it is. It was already happy with their portion, but the enemy just promised them, hey, you will be just like him when he's already like him. What's good, Bradley? And y'all form man of the dust of the earth. And oh yeah, we gotta put this out here because and teach us our book when the word said king or leader. But it's funny how a lot of strangers want to come in and try to teach us our book and try to reign over us through this book. They better sit down somewhere many times. And that goes for everyone who was not bond to. And then when people say like, well, they're supposed to treat us the same way you treat everybody else who was of the family of Yah, that's when we get to the land. It's not promised that people are going to make it up out of here alive. It's not promised. But people continue to play with this book like they think that the Father is with them more so than he's with his people who are colored, more so black. Say anything about Mexican, say anything about Asian, nothing about whites. He says all nations before him are as nothing, but except the nation he is guarding. That means everyone who was not of us. You either come in and do what we doing or sit down somewhere. But don't expect the Father's going to choose you over us in any respects. And I'm willing to fight to the death for that one over anyone who wants to speak anything differently. That's why the nations right now are being brought into tribulation. People read this book but don't understand why tribulation is here. It's because of certain doctrines. Different doctrines are bringing the whole world into a cataclysm of destruction. He said it. It's in the word. There's nothing you got to add to. There's nothing you got to make up. Everything is right here in the scriptures. Everything.